Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Not too much movement in the space for altcoins, or for Bitcoin for that matter. We've got XRP right now trading at about 42.5 cents. Just kind of hanging out down and around here, finding a support level, one that was trying to hold up way back here in February of 2021 before we really started to see that new high for XRP back in 2021. So it is finding support down here. Ultimately, buyers and sellers finding a good price, a fair trade price for XRP at this moment in time in this spec market. As you guys can see, Bitcoin is doing the same thing, right? Holding up support. It's support that we saw back in June of 2021. So technically, although we are in a bearish kind of sentiment feeling reality here, okay, Bitcoin still has not technically closed below this level of support. So if we hold this is a very good sign. And even if we move up and move down a little, right, and kind of hold this before we move to the upside, I would not be surprised, considering that 89% rule and the fact that we could have actually found our bottom mathematically when you do compare it to other bull cycles. I did a video on that the other day. I will link it up here in the top right hand corner if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about. So the market just kind of chilling for a bit after several down days. And, on the weekly, we were talking about how many weekly negative candlesticks we have seen in a row. And is this week going to be different? Well, it's only Wednesday so far, and we are in the red so far, but that could change by the end of the week. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed there. Tag XRP bringing this to us. So with regards to the crypto arena and regulation by the SEC, is anyone talking about Terraform Labs filing a complaint against the SEC in late 2021? So Tag has actually discovered this. Terraform's filed a complaint against the SEC. And as it turns out, it looks as though, just from this document here, that the SEC responded. The SEC's application seeks an order from the court directing Terraform Labs and Quan to show cause why the court should not compel them to produce documents as required by the subpoenas and compel Quan to appear for testimony. The application further seeks an order form from the court following its ruling on the order to show cause directing Terraform Labs and Quan to comply fully with the subpoenas. But down here, the SEC is continuing its fact-finding investigation, so it looks as though the SEC has turned the tables on Terra, or at least did back in November in 2021, but to date has not concluded that any individual or entity has violated the federal securities laws. So despite the rug pull, the epic rug pull that we saw last week, apparently the SEC was looking into this and they did not see any discrepancies. Interesting. Crypto Law here at Crypto Law US. This is John Deaton's legal website, or legal Twitter account rather. Just added a new document to their library. Letter request from Ripple asking approval to exceed the page limit on the new motion to compel be filed shortly, and compressed briefing schedule for replies. The SEC has already consented to Ripple's request and short briefing schedule. The coming motion to compel is due to an impasse over the SEC's responses to defendants' fourth set of requests for admission, or the RFA. So this simply has to do with the Dr. Metz fee request, if I'm not mistaken here. The defendants, Ripple Labs, Brad Garlinghouse, and Chris Larson, request the court's approval of a briefing size and schedule for purposes of a dispute concerning the SEC's response to defendants. And then they talk about the RFA, on which parties have reached an impasse. The SEC consents for this proposal, or to this proposal. Defendants intend to file a letter of motion to compel motion, and the parties have agreed to the following proposed schedule and page limits with respect to the motion. Okay, so this is with regards to the schedule specifically. Defendant's motion would not exceed 7 pages. The SEC's letter in opposition to defendant's motion would not exceed 7 pages and would be filed within 10 business days. And defendant's reply in further support of the motion would not exceed 4 pages and would be filed within 7 business days of the SEC's opposition. Okay, so just more detail there with regards to one particular part of the case. Fourth set of requests for admission, or the RFA, as per crypto law. So that is the update there. We've also got this. This was just broadcast on Fox Business yesterday, May the 17th, 2022, courtesy of Tim R614 here on Twitter. Charlie Gasparino updating Liz Clayman on the SEC case.
Central to the case as to whether XRP is a currency or an investment asset.
Right. I'm going to do this kind of quick because we want to talk a little bit about Tesla, because that's a huge story right now.
Twitter.
And Twitter, excuse me, Musk and Twitter. Listen, Hinman gave a speech, I think, in 2018, which essentially is key to this case. The XRP people, Ripple people who are being sued by the SEC, said that speech was dogma at the SEC, it was SEC policy, and it showed that their suit against XRP and Ripple is biased, and they had favoritism towards other cryptos, namely Ethereum. That speech is key to this case for Ripple proving its case. Why is Ripple slightly ahead in doing that right now? Because the documents are coming out that that Bill Hinman did not make that speech on, well, at least it's suggesting, I can't say what's in his mind, but Bill Hinman is arguing, the SEC is arguing, that those were his opinions, that he just said his opinion. It wasn't SEC policy. New documents are out that suggest maybe it's not just his opinion. It was SEC policy because he circulated the speech to something like 68 people inside the SEC.
Indicating that Ripple is a currency?
Yes, well, indicating that Ripple is likely a currency. The other ones aren't. Thus, in the Ripple's mind, that shows bias against Ripple by the SEC since its characteristics are similar to Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is how this, it's a little complicated, but if you care about XRP in this case, and this case is probably going to set the tone for crypto regulation going forward, just so you know. If XRP wins and Ripple, they beat back the SEC, SEC is not going to be able to go after anybody again. Okay, it's going to be very difficult to say other Ethereum and Bitcoin are securities, and therefore they come under SEC guidelines. If XRP loses, well, then you see Gary Gensler going after Ethereum. But it looks like Ripple has proven the case that maybe these weren't Hinman's own words. It was like SEC policy, and that's a strike in their favor. If in this context, that it means that the whole commission really did give a.
That the whole commission did give a, what? I don't know. It got cut off there. I think Twitter only has a limit of 220. I usually see videos ending up being 2 minutes and 20 seconds on Twitter. Nevertheless, thanks to Tim here. So the update on Fox Business from yesterday, Ripple's got a case. Charlie Gasparino stating Ripple has got a case, is a little bit ahead in the case, and that this cryptocurrency lawsuit is going to be a landmark case for not just Ripple and XRP, but for all cryptocurrencies in the United States moving forward. And Charlie Gasparino even said, right, if Ripple wins, well, then the SEC cannot go after any of these other cryptocurrencies, but if Ripple loses, then Gary Gensler may go after Ethereum next. I don't know how likely that is, but it is an opinion. Anyway, I wanted to thank Tim there for posting that clip from Fox Business. I also saw this, guys, with regards to Temenos. Now, we know Temenos, a Ripple-enabled company. They just announced today that Canadian Tire Bank, the financial arm of Canadian Tire Corporation in Canada, one of the largest Canadian retail companies, has selected Temenos Open Platform for composable banking to replace its legacy system. So we're starting to see more corporations now replacing their legacy systems with DLT technology, in this case, Ripple-enabled Temenos. Temenos will help power Canadian Tire's bank growth by delivering faster to market and richer digital experiences, boosting customer engagement and bottom line revenue. So just down here, Temenos will help expand the bank's digital features. This work will include streamlining the digital account of opening processes, enhancing best-in-class digital banking features, and extending CTB's existing buy now, pay later capability for financing loyalty member spend. Supported by Temenos' open platform, CTB will advance its digital banking capabilities and further integration across CTC's retail brands and 11 million active loyalty members, leveraging physical and digital assets to capture the value of its channels. So, when these mega corporations have loyalty programs, they need to keep track of that in some way. Air Miles is an example of that. And there was a point in time when they said, everything is going to go digital and everything is going to be streamlined. And here is just one example. Temenos integrating with Canadian Tire Bank to help streamline their, 11 million active loyalty members, streamlining that to provide them with points, keeping track of everybody's account. Of course, all things going to be easier when tokenized on the blockchain, in this case, Ripple-enabled Temenos, so interesting news there. Also wanted to mention this, Wormhole launches new Algorand protocol. So for those of you guys interested in the Algorand project, Wormhole, the generic cross-chain messaging protocol, announced today that it has launched support for Algorand, a proof-of-stake blockchain with an extremely robust robust decentralized finance ecosystem. Now developers can leverage the Wormhole SDK to build decentralized applications and protocols that can move value seamlessly across 9 major blockchain networks without fees. The Wormhole protocol underpins the cross-chain portal bridge for Layer 1 and Layer 2 blockchains, including Algorand, Avalanche, Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, Phantom, Oasis, Polygon, Solana, and Terra. When tokens or NFTs are bridged through the portal bridge, the origin token is locked in a smart contract while a new portal-wrapped version of that token gets minted on the target chain. Portal-wrapped tokens can be swapped for assets on the target chain and used to participate in DeFi on the biggest blockchain network. So you guys can see here the focus on the interoperability for Layer 1 and Layer 2 blockchains, saying that it will integrate with all these other blockchains. And just down here, a quote from Michael Dada: "The integration of Algorand to Wormhole's network is great news for builders of this ecosystem." He is a co-founder of Rand Labs, by the way, a company building infrastructure products on Algorand and contributors to the Wormhole integration. He continues by saying it will allow us to access all the liquidity that exists outside of Algorand, significantly boosting the TVL of the network. Algorand, I think, is a great example of a company that realizes that, there's not just going to be one project. We have to focus on interoperability if we want to survive, because there are going to be so many other projects and so many other companies that have integrated with, maybe another blockchain project. So in order to succeed, interoperability is going to be key. And the CEO of Algorand, Stacey Warden, essentially says the same. This brought to us by the Cryptic Poet here. Listen to this.
How do you need that to take off, to be adopted, in order for this sort of narrative to really catch on and become, pun intended, sustainable going forward?
Yeah, no, 100%, because it gets so technical so quickly. Yeah. And like things that are new, you don't tend to differentiate among them in the beginning. We think the truth will kind of shake out over time as people get a little bit more aware of the differences and the nuances between the different kinds of Layer 1 chains. And also, we believe that in this world, we need all kinds of different blockchain protocols. So we don't think it's a winner-take-all world at all. But we are very proud of a couple of things about us. So we are a very scalable blockchain. We do 10,000 transactions per second in July. We have final settlement in 4.5 seconds. Yeah. We have a very low carbon footprint and a decentralized blockchain. So, we think we are sort of generation 3 of blockchains, and we're well positioned going forward. Yeah.
Generation 3 of blockchains, of course, hitting all the high points, the same talking points that guys like Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse and David Schwartz also mention when talking about Ripple and XRP. So I don't think I have to hit this point home any further. Algorand, again, one of those World Economic Forum chosen cryptocurrencies, and we can see why. Also, guys, just wanted to bring you this note here from Ledger now. This is not a paid sponsorship. I just want you guys to know I personally use the Ledger Nano, and I have been talking about the Ledger Nano consistently on my channel for almost 4 years now. Ledger will be launching its own browser extension. So with Ledger Connect, you'll be able to easily and safely connect your Ledger accounts directly to Web3 apps via your desktop or mobile on the go. So if you guys have a Ledger Nano already, this is a new upgrade. This is a new browser extension. The link is here in the tweet if you guys want to click on that. And if you guys do not have a Ledger yet, I do have an affiliate link in the description of the video. And I always say, use it if you want. If that's a solution that works for you, use it if you want. You don't have to use it though. I'm not pushing anybody to buy a Ledger. But one thing I do know, not your keys, not your crypto. If you do keep your cryptocurrency on an exchange, that's not a good idea. You probably should keep it safe in something like a Ledger Nano S or an X or any of the new products that they have. Any kind of cold storage cryptocurrency solution, that's the way to go to keep your crypto safe, prevent you from hacks, prevent you from bad actors. So just wanted to bring up that. Also wanted to bring up this from XRPL Labs. They are on track for a new release of their Hooks testnet. So we talked about Hooks a little bit a few months ago. Now the Hooks testnet is going to be in beta. I believe one of the final beta releases, Q2. The Hooks feature adds Layer 1 smart contracts to the XRP ledger without bloating transactions per second and fees like on other networks and technologies. So they just posted this, giving you guys a little bit more information about Hooks and how that is going to be working on the XRP ledger. And all this added value, right, to the XRP ledger, this is what's going to drive more value to XRP. As we have more developers creating more innovative ways to add value to the XRPL, this is what's ultimately going to get more companies interested and, more reasons why one should integrate or one's company should integrate onto RippleNet. So XRPL Labs also saying, the upcoming release of the near final version of Hooks beta to be tested, broken, etc. allows hooks and smart contracts to be written in the C programming language. So for those of you who are technologically savvy, you probably know what that is. I'm kind of familiar with C, but I do not know how to code whatsoever. We aim to add easier and more mass developer-friendly assembly script type script-like support next. So that's the latest update from XRPL Labs. We also have this, guys, from Ripple Partner Currency Cloud. Just an announcement here, which is happening today and tomorrow, the 18th and the 19th of May, 2022. Don't miss out on hearing from Nick Briscoe discussing driving innovations in payments alongside speakers from ANZ, HSBC, and Payments Consulting Network. So this conference is called Seamless Australia, and again, it is happening today and the 19th, and it is brought to us by Currency Cloud, another Ripple partner. Boy, it's seeming like every single day there are more cross-border payment companies that have become Ripple partners. And has it been hitting a nerve for guys like Vitalik Buterin?
The economy is definitely a bit oversimplified, right? So like, for example, client-side AI. So if you have AI that just runs locally in your browser on your phone without sharing any information with the outside world, and it does things to serve you, I would call that libertarian. AI combined with cryptography and multi-party computation to preserve privacy can be libertarian. And cryptocurrency can be communist. So XRP is communist. Everyone agree there? I mean, come on, just look at how the guys have been, virtue signaling their institutional partnerships and regulatory compliance, and then when it turns out they're not actually regulatorily compliant, then they start talking about how Ethereum is controlled by China. Remember that? Yeah. So commies. But there's.
Oh, Vitalik, you better be careful. There's a lot of reasons why he is incorrect here, but I don't think I have to go over the reasons necessarily. Ripple is a company that has been very, very successful, and XRP, it has been criticized. It clearly hasn't performed as well as we would have liked it in the last bull run. It really did not even hit its former all-time high. That said, several other altcoins did not hit their former all-time high, which begs the question, again, going back to the spec crypto market, are we in accumulation right now? Are we going to move lower? I'm still of the opinion that we are in accumulation. Bitcoin still has not broken that level of support. We've wicked down, but if we hold that level, guys, technically still not bearish, although the sentiment is very bearish, and although, for most of the altcoin market, prices are dropping like a stone in a lake, technically, if we hold that level, this is reaccumulation, and we could see new all-time highs for Bitcoin, thus elevating the rest of the altcoin space. But just back to Ripple and XRP for a second here. So, we know XRP has not performed as well as we have wanted. However, there are big major players that are invested in Ripple, but not in XRP, and they make that point very clear. One of those guys is Mike Novogratz, and I'm going to play you this clip. Listen to this.
Can I ask you a question about XRP? This is something that I've been invested in for a long time, and they've obviously had, they are going through some issues. How do you feel about XRP?
Full disclosure, I own some of Ripple equity, and it's been a painful trade because the company's stock trades like dog's breakfast, and they own 55% of the XRPs, and so one of the prices is wrong, right? If you think about XRP at what's it trading, $1.20 times 58 billion, that company should be worth $60 billion just because of the XRP they have on the balance sheet.
Okay. I'm going to stop it there for a second. First of all, listen to what Mike Novogratz said. He's invested in Ripple, but with regards to XRP, he's intimating that it is garbage, it is a crap coin, and he is not invested in XRP. Now, he did not say he is not invested in XRP. He said, full disclosure, I'm invested in Ripple. and it trades like a dog's breakfast. Fine. But then he does a little bit of math there, and he says, what was it? 120, or sorry, XRP is trading at $1.20, and Ripple holds about 58 billion. So what does that work out to be? $1.20 times 58 billion. Well, his math's off. That should be $69.6 billion. And it looks as though if he owns stock in Ripple, that the company is valued at $3 billion. And he's asking himself, why is that? Why is that the case? First of all, Mike, let's go over the math once again. So in this clip, he also is talking about the SEC lawsuit. I was trying to kind of date when this interview took place, and my best guess was in and around 2021 last year at some point, because the last time XRP was trading at $1.20 would have been back in 2018. So it would not have been 2018 if we're also talking about the SEC lawsuit. So this was last year. And he says Ripple is valued at what, $3 billion? Well, we know even as early as January of 2022, distributed ledger technology company Ripple has hit a $15 billion valuation after it bought back shares from Series C fundraisers. Ripple today announced it had repurchased shares distributed in a December 2019 Series C funding round, which raised $200 million and valued the business at $10 billion. So the entire valuation, it looks as though it is closer to $15 billion, not $3 billion. Not only that, he's talking about the XRP that is in escrow, and although Ripple technically has that XRP is meant to be released in the ecosystem. So I don't actually think Ripple calculates their value based on the escrow. I think that they use a different formula because they know ultimately that XRP, the XRP in the escrow, will be released into the ecosystem. And with the more utility they see on the XRPL, the more XRP will be needed. First of all, the math is all off there. Secondly, he's talking about Ripple valuation, which is kind of incorrect. Thirdly, he talks about being invested in Ripple and not XRP. And so how can you, and I read this in the comment thread here, how can you be supportive of a company, Ripple, without being supportive of the cryptocurrency XRP? They go hand in hand in a lot of respects. Ripple at the beginning, when the company first started, they did not use XRP. They had technology that did not use XRP, but that was kind of like the gateway drug to get all these companies on board and eventually get them hooked on the XRP cryptocurrency. So there are a lot of things that don't really jive here with what Mike Novogratz is saying. Also, let me remind you, he is mentioning that the math is off. Well, his math, yeah, it's definitely off. But have you ever thought about this? It goes both ways. If one day XRP is trading between $10 to $15, let's say, that would obviously give Ripple a boost. And I'm not even going by his math here with Ripple owning the XRP in escrow and they should be worth $60 billion. But it would definitely give Ripple an upper hand. It would definitely increase the value of Ripple. I don't know by how much. And so I'm thinking about this and I'm thinking to myself, could it be that Ripple is waiting for the SEC lawsuit to finish in order to launch their IPO to go public? Or could it be that they're actually waiting for value to be driven to the XRPL for XRP to command a higher price to go public? And more obviously, guys, these two things are likely one and the same. Remember when Brad Garlinghouse said this, Ripple CEO says IPO highly likely after the SEC case concludes. This was back from last year, May 27th, 2021. Now what happens once we get clarity, right? We're all expecting XRP price to go up. They're saying we're going to launch the IPO after the SEC case concludes because, well, we'll get clarity. But guys, it's a two-prong effect. Not only will they get clarity, XRP price will also be higher, thus bringing the price of Ripple up higher. Thus, when they can trade their IPO on the open market, what does that mean? That means stock price goes even higher than just having the clarity. The XRP that Ripple has in their possession that they own is also going to bring up the value of the company. And so this math would work in the opposite direction. Waiting, getting in now, if you have the opportunity to get some Ripple equity. I know there's a company linked to that is doing that. I'm not paid by them, but I know you can go there if you're an accredited investor and buy shares of Ripple, the company. And so what's the price of those shares today for retail investors? And that begs the question, what did Mike Novogratz get in at? What was his valuation or the valuation that he got in at when he got his Ripple shares? And are they waiting to launch an IPO because they know if the price of XRP does rally based on real-world utility once the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit is done, that would actually bring up the valuation of Ripple, the company, And to that point, you know, I saw this the other day and I was going to mention it in another video, but I thought I'd mention it today, trying to tell Luna investors 2 weeks ago that their $80+ coin would be worth less than 1 penny would now have seemed just as outrageous as me telling you today that it is possible for XRP to be worth $589 in a similar time frame. I couldn't agree more, but that's just my opinion. Tell me down in the comments what you guys think, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.